Frazier. You're now tuned in to Fist Physics. Today's topic, Mikey Garcia versus Vasyl Lomencheko. This fight is yet to be contracted, but the two fighters seem very interested in facing each other. And I just want to take a quick look at this future mega pay-per-view event because I do think when these two actually do meet, it's a good chance that their pay-per-view is going to be well over 500,000 buys, I would say. But now, just taking a quick look, I think that both of these gentlemen here, Mikey Garcia and Vasyl Lomencheko, it's safe to say that they are future Hall of Famers. They're around the same size. I believe Vasyli's fighting at 130 currently ranked a champion at 130. And I believe since Mikey has returned, he's down at 135. So, I mean, there's not too much of a weight difference there, even though last time I seen Mikey come out for a fight, which was, I think, a couple of months ago, against an unknown guy. But I could have sworn that Mikey came in and maybe about 140, maybe a little bit over. But it was his first fight back. I mean, so give it or take it. I mean, that's what it was. This would probably be the biggest fight that either one of these fighters has been in to date. I don't think Vasyl has had any pay-per-view events, and neither has Mikey since he's returned. There should be very little issues with negotiating a contract between these two because Mikey is a free agent. He gets to do what he wants to do. And Vasyl signed with Top Rank, but with no other promoters involved besides Top Rank, really. I think this is it'll be easily made. I don't see this being a big thing. Maybe a 50-50 split. I can't imagine Mikey really stressing getting more, and nor could I see Vasyl saying that he wanted more than a 50-50 split because Mikey's a known fighter. He's a known guy. And that's somebody that Vasyl would really want on his resume. So I think it's safe to say that you're looking at a 50-50 split here. And I do see this matchup doing at least 500 buys or maybe even more depending on how good the undercard was. Top Rank is not really known for making good undercards, but if they had one here, I do see this being a great fight. Just a quick couple of notes that I made to myself. You know, I like to kind of approach these fantasy matchups with the theory if I was in the camp with these guys. You know, if I was on the team and we're looking at what advantages you can kind of get at the table when the contract is actually up to be signed. And I think it would be safe to say right now, I mean, because looking at the two fighters and following their careers, I would say skill-wise, they're about equal. I mean, I couldn't pick either guy right now today. It's a 50-50 toss-up to me. But I do think there are some things that Mikey Garcia can take from the Salido fight. And mind you, Vasyl and Mikey both fought Orlando Salido. Mikey completely dominated Salido the entire fight. Vasyl was dominated by Salido the entire fight. So, I mean, that also puts a little extra on top, you know, kind of makes it more interesting, you know. But if I was on Team Garcia, I would actually be looking to have this fight at 140. I would be wanting Mikey to be walking in pretty heavy. Hopefully the weight and his skill level, because, you know, like, Vasyl has fought when he fought Nicholas Walters, I'm pretty sure Nicholas Walters was kind of heavy for the weight anyway. He was the champ at 130. But if I'm not mistaken, he was coming in at 140. But I think it would be safer for Mikey to walk in the night of at 140. And if he didn't have to strain making weight, then that would be great. It means that you'd be looking at a fresh, healthy Mikey Garcia walking in that night. And taking a good look at all of the tricks of the trade that Orlando Salido pulled out when he fought Vasyl the first time. I mean, if you have any recollection of that fight, if you haven't watched that fight, if you didn't watch that fight when it was live, I suggest that you go back and watch a repeat It's a great fight, and it's very interesting because you have a technician versus a really just tough, seasoned guy in Orlando Salido. And Orlando Salido pulled out all of the stops. I mean, he used a whole bag of well, dirty tricks. We'll just say that. Vasyli's more of a technician. He's very clean. He's very accurate. He's very precise. But in that fight, he showed me that he had no real answer and didn't know how to adapt to a fight of that nature. If Mikey was to go in with that sort of game plan, I definitely see him edging lomencheko. I also do think that this is a great fight because we'll get to see what Vasyli's really made out of. I mean, he's had his chin tested once or twice, maybe, but Mikey's the real deal. He has power. He's not the fastest guy, but his timing is very good. His reaction time is very good, and he's well seasoned, coming from a boxing family. And the dad, Big G, he's been around forever. And then Robbie Garcia is also a former champion. I mean, so Mikey walks in with a ton of experience. Vasyl, I believe his amateur record was like 395 wins with one loss. I mean, so he's coming in with a ton of amateur experience. But even now that I'm talking about it right now, I'm thinking that actually that might make the difference. You know, Vasyl hasn't been a pro for all that long. And I'm thinking that possibly Mikey could squeeze by a decision or even win by a late stoppage or a knockout. It's very possible, I think. But either way, whoever comes out of this fight will be considered the man of the lower divisions. He'll be the man to beat. He'll be the man to fight. He'll be the moneymaker. And in the era without Floyd or Pacquiao's pretty much wrapping up his career, and Floyd might come back from one or two fights. I mean, right now you're looking to put your thumb on who's going to be the next face of boxing. Right now it's kind of Canelo in the upper weights, but who's going to be the face of boxing in the lower weights? I mean, Terrence Crawford is a big name. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on at welterweight and see who's going to come out on top there. But Vasyli's already did a hell of a lot, man. I mean, his record is only like 7-1 or 8-1, but he's had some really good fights against some really good opponents. I mean, so Mikey Garcia versus Vasyl Lomachenko is a great fight. I would pay for it. I haven't bought HBO pay-per-view in quite a while. The fights just weren't that interesting to me. I mean, I think the last HBO fight I might have paid for. Nope, can't even say that. I'm not even sure if I paid for the Ward Kovalev, because honestly, I knew Ward was gonna walk away with the win. You know what though? I actually did purchase that fight, so that was the last fight that I purchased from HBO. But everything else has been happening on HBO. I have not paid for any pay-per-view events from them because they've been really weak cards. Showtime has given you a ton of good competitive fights. PBC, Al Heyman, they've been coming up with a ton of very competitive fights, and most of their fights are for free. I mean, so HBO is really losing right now, and I think this is a big matchup that HBO really needs to show interest in and get it made. All right, fight fans, till the next one. Mighty Mean Joe Frazier. Subscribe and like the video. There'll be more coming soon. One.